Oh my gosh. Whew, man. Hey, flamethrowers, it's me, Flame the Dragon Hog here. Well, I should change it. I should be known as Flame the Powerless Dragon Hog. Okay, well, you guys are probably wondering what's going on. Well, guess what? You guys remember that law that I refused to follow? Well, get this. The goddess of the whole entire multiverse, she decided to punish me for not following that 200-year-old rule. How is she punishing me, you may ask? Well, I have her here with me. Everybody, please say hello to Queen Nikki the cat. She is the queen of the whole entire multiverse. And she keeps an eye on every single king and queen and makes sure that they follow the rules. Go ahead, tell them what you did.
Very well. I took away his powers.
Yeah, she took away my powers. So, therefore, I can't go super form, I can't go ghost, and most importantly, I can't use chaos control, and I can't use my fire abilities anymore. All because of one simple rule.
You don't understand, Flame. You need to follow the rules.
But you're forgetting something. I have a wife who's definitely not approving of this.
Please, please, she doesn't have any power over you.
I know she doesn't.
Then why are you doing what she says?
It's because this rule is making her unhappy. And if there's one thing I know is unhappy wife means unhappy life.
Well, that's a risk we're willing to take. Now, this is your last chance, Flame. Are you going to follow this rule, or are you going to remain powerless forever?
I'd rather be powerless than lose my wife over this silly rule.
What happened to you, Flame? Back then, you never let anybody tell you what to do. Now that you're hitched, you just became soft. What happened to you?
It's called life, Your Majesty. It's called life, Your Majesty. You see, sure, back then I was a rebel and I wouldn't let anybody tell me what to do. But now that I have a wife and kids I need to take care of, I need to look out for them and not myself. Look, their happiness is all that matters to me. And if following this rule makes my wife happy, then so be it. I'm not going to follow this rule. I'm not going to follow this rule.
Flame, you really did lose your mind. Then I suggest maybe this might clear your conscience about this. Do you remember that your mother, she was a queen?
Yeah. She was a queen over at our old little island.
Well, I believe she left this little something out.
What's this?
Oh, it's just a little document.
Hang on, let me see something here. Okay, let's see. Queen Cinder, refused to follow this one rule passed down from my family to my own. You see, my father, the original god and king of fire, he made a rule saying that each member, each descendant, whether they're male or female, they have to have at least as many concubines as they want. They can have as many concubines as they want. So therefore, this is a message to all future kings and queens of dragon hogs or fire. So let this rule be passed on to my future generations of grandsons, granddaughters, and of course, my little girl, Cinder. I believe you'll make the right choice. Wait a minute. So, what you're saying is is that my mother, she knew about this, and she never even followed that one rule.
Exactly. You see, not only was this rule passed by King Alex, but it was also passed down by your family as well. And since you are a king of Mobius, it's by law that you have to follow this rule, since you are a king.
Oh my gosh, this just keeps getting worse and worse. The more I think about it, the more that it's gonna make Sarah leave me. I mean, hello, she's not into that sharing stuff. She's not into it. She doesn't like an open relationship where, girls can just come in and come out whenever they want to. Look, I understand that letting go of my exes was really hard and stuff. Letting go of them was really hard, but it was a sacrifice I had to make in order to, it was a sacrifice I had to make in order to make my wife happy.
Come on, what's more important? Making one person happy or making a whole herd of people happy?
It's important if that one person is your wife. And plus, not to mention, we've been married for almost a whole entire year. And now, all of a sudden, this law comes out of the blue saying that, I have to change that. I have to change that rule. And I am not going to change that rule. So you can strip me of my powers whenever you want to. There's no way I am following that rule. Period. Point blank.
Flame the Dragon Hog, you have really disappointed us.
Us? What do you mean by us?
The Council. You disappointed the Council.
The council?
Yes, the Council of the Gods of the Universe. You disappointed them by not following that rule. You really did let them down.
Oh my gosh.
Flame the Dragon Hog, I hereby strip you of all your powers. You are not allowed to leave your realm to go dimension hopping ever again. You are now forced to live your days powerless. That is, if you decide to abide by that rule passed down from King Alex or your own grandfather. And if you refuse again, I have no choice but to take away more than your powers. I will be forced to take away your friends, your family, and of course, your life. Then there's nothing that you can do or your little wife, there's nothing that you or your little wife can do. I make the rules. I am the queen, and I know what's best for you.
What do you mean you know what's best for me? You're not my mother. Until you change your name to Cinder Dragonhog, you do not own me.
That is true, but I own your whole timeline. If you don't abide by my rules, I have no choice but to erase everything you hold dearly. Although, since you are really in a rush to get your powers back, I'll make a deal with you. You have 24 hours to make your decision. Oh, and by the way, I got a little telepathy message from your wife. She's really pissed off at me. Like I care. Like I care. She is just the one of many girls that's gonna make you a very happy dragon hog.
I already am happy. And for your information, me and Sarah, we were planning on having our third child. But now we have to postpone it until I get my powers back. So because if a dragon hog, Because if a dragon hog gives birth to a child and he doesn't have any powers, there's a 50% chance that that child isn't going to have any powers. Even if the mom has any powers, it still won't get any powers. So I really do need to have my powers back.
Like I said before, you have 24 hours to make your decision, or you will have to talk to them.
Oh my gosh, who the heck are they?
They are the people that's going to get your powers if you continue to refuse me. Now remember, Flame, you have 24 hours to make your decision. Are you going to keep disobeying me and you can get your powers back? Or are you going to abide by your rules, by the rules that's been passed down from your generation, and I'll keep your powers? Or better yet, you know what? How about I rephrase it? You have 24 hours to make your decision. If you better choose wisely. If you choose to follow the rules, then you will get your powers back. And you will be the most happiest dragon hawk out there. But if you don't, then I will be passing down your powers to those people that you just saw. And of course, you'll be walking the earth alone. You'll be walking around Mobius alone, and, of course, living a happy, normal life without you remembering anything about your Dragon Hog history. So, I'm sorry, Flame, but you have been warned. You have been warned. Remember, you have 24 hours.
Fine. 24 hours to make my decision. And if I make the wrong decision?
It's like I said, your powers will be passed on to those people that you just saw.
I really do hope I will make the right decision. I really do want my powers back. And also I do want to make Sarah happy. I really do want to.
Well then, I hope you make the right decision. Now you be a good little dragon hog and run that by your wife. Or do I have to pop in there and tell her myself? And believe me, you don't want me to do that, because if I pop in there and tell her myself, I won't be using words.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You made it clear. I have 24 hours to make my decision. I'll run it with Sarah so that way we can get this over with. Okay? Because I really want to get my powers back in time for Valentine's Day. Because if I don't, then it's just going to ruin my special Valentine's Day gift for Sarah. And her Valentine's Day gift for me is going to be ruined too. And I already know what the heck it is. It's our third child, okay? I really want our third child. I really do want our third child. But we can't have it until I get my powers back. Please do not make me follow this rule. Because if you make me follow this rule, it's just going to hurt one person. More than just,
I'm sorry, Flame. I don't make the rules. I just make sure that you follow them. You know, there is always that one person that always has to make sure everybody follows the rules.
Fine. Like you said, 24 hours. 24 hours. Man, like I said before, it's really hard because in one hand, I'm going to be helping a lot of people and I'll be getting my powers back. And in the other hand, I'll be hurting one person that I hold near and dear to my heart. And I'm risking it. And I'm risking it, for my powers. And I don't want to lose all my friends and family. All because of what? My powers. Those powers are very special to me. They've been passed down from my family for years. And all of a sudden, just because I don't want to follow a single rule, they're all gone. I think it's ridiculous. But I am willing to need your demands in order to get my powers back and to help people.
Very good. Now, like I said before, you run the consequences to your wife, and you have 24 hours to make your decision. But if you don't make the right decision, I am forced to eliminate your friends, your family, and of course your life. You'll be walking in limbo for all I care.
Very well.
Now, remember what I said. You have to run this through your wife, and if she gives me more of her lip, I'm gonna have to come down there and explain the rules to her myself. And like I said before, when I talk to her, I won't be using my lips.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Very well. Mind if I see the picture of those people you're going to give my powers to again?
Very well.
Man, a lot of them look really, really powerful. They look like they don't even need my powers.
Well, believe me, they will need them. And they will be getting them if you don't follow that rule. And plus, what do you think your grandfather would think if you don't follow that rule? Or King Alex, for all we care. What do you think they would say if they find out that their grandson and their descendant refused to follow a rule that they passed?
Fine. Like I said, 24 hours. It's like you said, 24 hours. All right. Now just give me time to think, Your Majesty, please.
Very well.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, Flame,
Yes, Your Majesty.
I know you'll make the right decision. And remember, you have to come up with a solution that both you and your wife have to agree on. And even if your wife still doesn't agree with you, you have the right to go behind her back and do whatever you want. Everybody knows that the king is the one that makes all the decisions, not the queen.
But you're a queen and you make decisions.
That's because my king died and left me in charge. So, I have no choice but to make decisions.
Very well, Your Highness. Very well, Your Highness. I'll be sure to talk it over with my wife. You have my solemn word.
Very good. I will be off now. And remember, I will be watching you.
How are you watching me anyway?
Oh, through my sacred eyes.
Sacred eyes?
Yes, my falcon vision. Let's just say if you see a falcon flying in the air, that's me. I'm keeping an eye on you.
Okay. Okay. Very well. Very well. Okay. Now, I have 24 hours to make my decision, right?
Yes, and I'll leave you to it. And remember, I'm watching you.
Okay. Thank you.